I would steal Sabalenka's serve for sure. Those words came from 20-year-old Eala on March 19, 2026, and they hit differently. A breakout star, one of the hottest names in women's tennis right now, was asked a simple question: if you could steal anyone's shot from any player, men's or women's, and add it to your own game, which would it be? Without hesitation, Eala answered, I would steal Sabalenka's serve for sure. And just like that, she placed a crown on Aryna Sabalenka's head. This wasn't trash talk. It wasn't disrespect. It was something much more powerful, an honest compliment from a young player on the rise. But sometimes, the purest compliments expose the truth more brutally than any rivalry ever could. Because 9 days later, while Sabalenka sat at world number 1 with 11,025 ranking points and marched into the Miami Open final, Eala's words stopped sounding like simple admiration. They started sounding like the next generation openly admitting exactly where the throne is guarded. Subscribe if you're the kind of tennis fan who catches the real meaning behind one single line before the headlines even catch up. This channel is for those who understand the hierarchy the moment it reveals itself. Right now, as of late March 2026, Aryna Sabalenka isn't living on old reputation. She just dismantled Elena Rybakina 6-4, 6-3 in the Miami semifinals, looking every bit the dominant force of the tournament. On the other side of the story is Eala, now ranked number 29 in the world, fresh off her own impressive Miami run that turned heads and generated serious buzz. She's been honest enough to admit exactly which weapon she still believes separates her from the very top. And that's why her March 19th answer carried so much weight. Eala didn't hesitate. She didn't pick a flashy forehand, a creative all-court game, or even a lethal return. She went straight for the shot that starts every point, dictates nerves, punishes hesitation, and turns pressure into pure fear. Sabalenka's serve. This matters even more when you look at Eala's own game. Her serve has improved a lot, but it's still the part most often talked about as her biggest work in progress. So when she says she would steal Sabalenka's serve, she's not speaking theoretically. She's naming the exact weapon that marks the distance between an exciting ascent and absolute rule at the top. That's the real tension here. Not drama, not controversy, just a blunt, uncomfortable truth. The new generation isn't trying to rewrite the standard. They're staring directly at Sabalenka and admitting that one of the clearest roads to the top runs straight through the thing she already owns. Let's go back to that moment. In a Tennis Express interview before the Miami Open, Eala was asked the question. The answer came instantly. I would steal Sabalenka's serve for sure. She didn't overthink it. She didn't pick something safe. She picked the shot that gives Sabalenka her edge before the rally even begins. And the numbers back it up. Early in the 2026 season, Sabalenka was winning over 88% of her service games, the kind of dominance that changes the psychology of a match before the first ball is even returned. Opponents don't just have to break her, they spend entire sets wondering if they'll even get a chance to try. Then Miami delivered the live proof. On March 27th, Sabalenka faced Elena Rybakina in the semifinals, a high-stakes clash against one of the biggest hitters in the game. The result? A commanding 6-4, 6-3 straight sets win. While the tennis world was still replaying Eala's quote, Sabalenka was out on court showing exactly why that quote made perfect sense. Her serve wasn't just a reputation. It was a weapon actively clearing paths for her baseline power and suffocating Rybakina's returns. Now, contrast that with Eala's own Miami journey. She had a strong run, beating Laura Siegemund and Magda Linette, carrying real belief and attention. But then on March 23rd, she ran into Karolina Muchova and was beaten 0-6, 2-6 in just 50 minutes. For days after publicly naming Sabalenka's serve as the ultimate upgrade, Eala got a harsh, humbling reminder of exactly how steep the mountain still is. March 19th, Eala names the serve. March 23rd, Eala exits early. March 27th, Sabalenka cruises past Rybakina into another final. 3 dates. One clear message: admiration, exposure, and confirmation. Right now, Sabalenka sits at number 1 with 11,025 points. Eala sits at number 29 with 1,525. One is the benchmark. The other had the courage to say it out loud. And that honesty is what makes this moment feel so big. This isn't the next wave rejecting Sabalenka's reign. This is the next wave studying it, naming it, and, in Eala's case, confessing exactly which part looks almost unfair. That's how legends are built in modern tennis. Not just by the trophies you win, but by what your fellow professionals openly wish they could take for themselves. Expert analysts and veteran commentators have been saying the same thing for years. Sabalenka's serve is one of the most feared weapons on the entire WTA tour. When a rising player like Eala echoes that same consensus from inside the locker room, the message becomes undeniable. It's not hype. It's recognition coming from both the broadcast booth and the players themselves. Now Sabalenka heads into the Miami final against Coco Gauff carrying that serving aura with her. And every result from here only adds to the mythology. If that serve keeps performing at this level, it doesn't just change Miami, it changes Stuttgart, Madrid, and Roland Garros too. Clay is supposed to slow power down, but Sabalenka keeps asking whether any surface can slow her down enough. More than anything, Eala's comment shows a bigger shift in women's tennis. The next generation isn't talking about greatness in vague terms anymore. They're isolating specific weapons and saying clearly, this is what we have to build if we want to rule. That turns Sabalenka into more than just the current champion. It makes her the reference point. As long as she keeps serving at anywhere near this level, she'll keep entering tournaments as the player nobody wants to see in their half of the draw. The rankings already say number 1. The rest of the tour is starting to sound like they agree. Remember, Sabalenka didn't get here untouched. After losing the Australian Open final to Rybakina earlier in 2026, she didn't make excuses. She said something very telling. Maybe I should have been more aggressive on my serve. That's what champions do. They identify the weakness, own it, and go back to work. 2 months later, she faced Rybakina again and won convincingly. So, here's the verdict. Alex Eala didn't diminish Aryna Sabalenka with that comment. She actually elevated her. She publicly confirmed that the single most coveted shot in women's tennis right now belongs to the player already sitting at world number 1. If you've been watching Sabalenka and felt like her serve was the shot everyone else secretly measures themselves against, this week didn't create that truth. It simply validated it, in the voice of a rising star. Now I want to hear from you. If you could steal one shot from any player in tennis right now, WTA or ATP, would you take Sabalenka's serve too? Or is there another weapon you'd choose instead? Drop your answer in the comments. If you're the kind of fan who hears one line like Eala's and immediately understands the entire hierarchy behind it, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This channel is for the fans who catch the real meaning before the mainstream headlines do. The ones who know that sometimes the biggest drama in tennis isn't an argument, it's a confession of greatness. Stay locked in with us through the Miami final and all the way into Stuttgart, Madrid, and Roland Garros. The fans who read these moments early are the ones who understand history while it's still being written. Let's go.